You know, guys, when I was a teenager, we could walk into game shops and just buy the game off the shelf. It was a wonderful, wonderful time. You don't even own the games now. I mean, you think you own them on Steam, but you're not really. If Steam went down tomorrow and all the servers fried and frazzled, you're screwed. And then look at Game Pass. People pay huge amounts of money to rent a game for a few weeks. I often go back and play old games. In fact, that's pretty much what I do all the time. I'm always playing games I bought years ago. F*** renting, I want to own it. You go to work, you earn your crust, you come home, you want something that's yours that you can play whenever you want. You don't want to rent it off these bastards. Anyway, that's my little rant out the way. So let's look at Game Pass then. 22 effing effers, guys. 99 to have Game Pass Ultimate. And what do you get for your Game Pass Ultimate? Well, you can get Outer Worlds 2 mixed on Steam. You can get Call of Duty Black Ops 7 mostly negative on Steam. In other words, guys, you can rent absolute slop, crap, garbage, rubbish, and some mediocre games for £22 a month. You can buy a couple of really good indie games for £22 a month. Or you can rent slop. For a tenner a month, you can rent some old games that were okay on Game Pass. But you don't own any of them. The price structure is actually causing chaos at Microsoft at the minute. Loads and loads of people are just not renewing Game Pass. Lots of Xbox users are switching to PC, and specifically indie. And Microsoft is shitting themselves. There's been an internal memo going around from the Xbox chief. You can't do that in jokes anymore. Okay, and she's basically shitting donuts because the Game Pass sales has shit. And she said Game Pass has become too expensive for players. I mean, who employs these fucking people? If I worked at Microsoft and some dillick brain came up to me and says, "Hey, Mac, we are going to put Game Pass Ultimate up to £22.99. Do you think this is a good idea? Remember, we have all the Fortnite goodies on there." I'd have sacked the because it's so obvious to anybody with a morsel of intelligence that gamers aren't going to pay £22.99 a month for the absolute state of gaming now. All you have to do is look out the fucking window at the gaming industry, see it's just burning, and then you should be thinking to yourself, do you know what? Games suck now. We should be lowering the price of Game Pass, not putting the up. But no, the absolute state of executives at Microsoft thought, let's put it up. I mean, if the gaming industry was flourishing with tons of new AAA brilliantly well put together games, absolutely you could then think about increasing the price because people would pay it to get access to these great games. But it's shit, mate. The games are fucking wank. But anyway, guys, there is light at the end of the tunnel. They have realised the errors of their ways. My goodness. It's going to come down, guys. It's going to come down. What to, we don't know. But my advice is, if you're an Xbox user, burn it. Burn it on a bonfire. The environment, burn the Sorry to interrupt this video. This is Mac from the future who's currently editing this video. What I would like to do, on the advice of my solicitor, is to walk back that ridiculous idea of burning your Xbox. You should not burn anything like that in the environment because it does untold damage. All fossil fuels, anything that's smoky is bad. I am a staunch supporter of the environment, and I think that we should be striving in the United Kingdom and across the world for net zero. I'm a huge Green Party supporter, and I think not getting our own fossil fuels that we have a lot of, but instead pay another country to get it for us so that we can pat ourselves on the back and pay twice as much is a good idea. My advice is, if you have an Xbox, get a PC, but don't buy it yet because RAM prices are still trickling down. They're going to come down. RAM prices are going to be down probably by the middle of next year. They're already dropping. But maybe just, play old games They're the best. Switch to PC next year, specifically indie. Although indie is a bit shit on PC at the minute, there's some decent stuff out there, but a lot of it's not that great at the minute. People think it's great, but they're just coping badly. It's not that good. People are just so desperate at the moment for good games, including myself, that any old mediocre game that comes along now is hailed as, oh my goodness, this is the best game I've ever played. We're in that phase at the minute. It'll pass, but at the minute we're in a phase of anything that's not absolute bottom squelching garbage is being hailed as the best game ever made. Anyway, at least it's good news that Game Pass is coming down. Let's hope it's a significant drop to match the state of gaming at the minute. And even in the near future, we've got Forza coming, but the last Forza was crap. This will just be more of the same, I would expect, just driving around, crashing into everything and getting free cars for your trouble. Myself, I'm looking more forward to Mouse PI. That looks hilarious. That looks like a really good little shooter, that. But isn't it amazing how out of touch these executives are with real gamers? To think that they could charge $22.99 in the current state of gaming and that people would pay it. My goodness.